The best fighter in the world returns to the ring against a 7'2", 360-pound giant.
Очень сильный, я бы сказал, не по статусу выше, чем русский бойцы.
I'm back. Fedor Emelianenko versus Hongman Choi on HDNet Fights. Fedor returns.
I thought this boy.
This is HDNet Fights. Fedor returns.
The countdown is underway to the biggest day of the year in Japan. 2008 is approaching. It is a super day for Japanese and a super sports day as well. Welcome to the Saitama Super Arena. And a super night is expected. As a man who is much a myth and a legend as he is the top fighter in the world, Fedor Emelianenko returns to the ring tonight. Konnichiwa. Hello and welcome everyone. Glad that you could be with us live here on HDNet. I'm Kenny Rice, delighted to be working with Frank Trigg. The last time we saw him, he was winning here on HDNet just a few weeks ago.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad night for me. I kind of first experience with HDNet. Here I am again. Obviously here in Japan, once again on New Year's Eve for me. It's another great night. It's a huge night in Japan for the fights. To establish yourself as a company, you have to do it on December 31st. This is the night to do it.
Well, as we talked about, this is a huge night for the Japanese in the Japanese culture. New Year's Eve. And Fedor Emelianenko has embraced this. He has become like Dick Clark and Guy Lombardo to the Pacific Rim. He shows up, he fights on New Year's Eve. Over 20,000 people will be here at the Super Arena.
And when you talk about Fedor, there's one thing you have to remember. Not only is his trip very long, you just take a 12-hour train ride just to get to the airport, to fly 23 hours to get here in time. He has to train, get ready for these fights, but he does it so well every time that he does it. Not to mention, he's the #1 ranked guy in the world right now. He seems to do it from sort of a busboy kind of a stance. He walks out, gets ready for that fight. He doesn't have the ripped abs. He doesn't have the incredible haircut. He doesn't chisel face. He comes out there, looks like a normal, regular guy, a regular blue-collar worker, and he kicks up his butt while he's doing it. The amazing thing is it shows that how far the sport has come. You don't have to have a straight body and look like you're a fighter.
What?
Be a fighter. Of course,
Can't.
#1 guy in the world right now.
What do you need?
Because I'm biased. I'm friends with Randy Couture. I think Couture's the best heavyweight in the world, but that's a fight that may happen later.
Well, that leads to an important point right here, then, Frank, because he has made such judicious use of his fights. He picks and chooses pretty much whatever Fedor wants to pick and choose. There have been some that have criticized him for that. Has he fought anybody tough? Matt Lindland, obviously, his last opponent, moving up 2 weight classes to fight him. Now, he comes in here tonight, and he is fighting, and this is kind of appropriate considering he is myth-like, this Fedor legend that continues to grow, a Bunyan-S figure, at least in size, 72, well over 300 pounds, Hongman Choi. You wonder about Choi, though, because he comes in as a successful, to an extent, as a kickboxer, but this is only his second professional MMA fight.
A lot of the guys on the boards, MMA was built by the Mexicans, built by the internet. If you look at the boards and what the fans are saying, they're saying this is the foregone conclusion that Fedor's going to win. You have to remember, Hongman Choi, not only is Fedor giving a minute, a 12-inch reach on, or 12-inch height to give it, he's giving up 100, almost 30 pounds in weight. And remember, Fedor,
You never know.
not easily, but
You never know.
in a fight like this,
Whatever.
they're about 1 foot, about this big. He's a guy that can knock you down, get a cut, and finish the fight just off of that reason.
One thing about Hongman Choi, he is so big that if you're sitting in the top row here at the Super Arena, you will still have a good view of him as we take a look at the tail of the tape, and this certainly emphasizes the difference. As Frank mentioned, you look at Fedor, a good-sized man, certainly, the heavyweight champion of the world, most people consider. And then you look at Hongman Choi, it is an intriguing matchup, nonetheless, and the fans have been anticipating this for months to see Fedor once again here in Japan fighting on New Year's Eve. With us, as always, our man on the scene, Ron Kruk. Ron has more. Ron?
Thanks, Kenny. Although Trigg may disagree, most in the MMA community believe that Fedor Emelianenko is the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world. But a close second, of course, is current UFC champion Randy Couture. Now, since Couture won the belt and successfully defended it, he has said all along that the only fight at this stage in his career that makes sense is won against Fedor.
Bro.
Natural was down in Dallas, Texas at HDNet Fight's second event, Reckless Abandon, and I spoke with him about the possible face-off with Fedor.
If there is a low light, I guess it would be that Fedor signed with another organization, with M1, and made the chance of me being able to fight him and kind of settle the debate on who the number one heavyweight in the world is a lot tougher. And so that led to me resigning and trying to pursue that fight outside of the UFC.
Last question. It's the question all MMA fans want to know. When can we expect you back in the cage, and will you be fighting for the UFC?
Well, unless the UFC wants to do a co-promotion with M1 and make the Fedor fight happen, I'm going to have to wait till my contract expires. I have no intention of breaching that contract. That expires in July. My employment contract expires with them in October, so I would assume that the soonest you'll see me fight Emelianenko will be in October.
Guys, the UFC has made it clear that they will not do a cross-promotion with any other fighting organization, including M1 Global, which means Couture will have to wait it out with his current UFC contract, which expires in April. What does Fedor think about the possible dream matchup? Well, Kenny, he told me it's not a matter of if it will happen, it's a matter of when. Guys?
Thanks, Ron. And gee, let's not even think of what if Fedor gets upset tonight. That will just turn the apple cart over and roll it down the hill, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and that's one of the things you have to remember. This is still a fight, so anything can happen. Undercard tonight, several good fights. Mitsuhiro Ishida comes back to the ring tonight. He is going up against Gilbert Melendez. Melendez in the lightweight ranks has just been soaring. He comes in here unbeaten. He continues to look better every fight. Traditionally, Japan runs the gamut when it comes to the 155-pound weight class. Gilbert Melendez is in. He's 14-0. He's obviously an American, so I'm a little biased when it comes to him fighting anybody else that's not of American descent. Gilbert is amazing. He's got that nonstop power. He loves the wrestling game. He loves the ground-and-pound game. He uses incredible reach and his cardiovascular system to keep things going. When you're looking at Ishida, it's really going to be two guys. You can almost say two cats fighting because both guys have a lot of energy and they come with a lot of action. I just think Gilbert is by far the better competitor. He's a little bit taller, a little bit stronger, and of course, he's still undefeated. So I want to see him go from 14-0 to 15-0 tonight.
Akiyama also matched up against Misaki, one of the others to look at on this undercard.
Now, Masaki's the guy I fought before. When Prime was still around, I fought Masaki. Had a great fight with him. I won that one in 3-round decision. Akiyama's a guy that literally is needed in the Japanese fighting ranks. He cannot stand this guy. Masaki really didn't want to fight this guy, so he beat Dennis Kang a couple months ago. And he said, you know what, I really have to fight him now and kind of test my ranks. And then Akiyama started talking about it more in the press. You're looking at a guy that talks a lot, talks about his fight. Right? Masaki is also a great fighter. Akiyama's got under his skin a little bit. This fight, I see a lot of fighting. I see Akiyama and Masaki talking about it in the press, getting on each other. It sounds very American of them, doesn't it? It's really a challenge to the press. All right, let's take a look now at the rules here in Japan. Who knows better than Frank? He fought here before with success. Now, what we're doing tonight is doing a modified, unified rule. The unified rules, the rules you can see in America, they're modifying a little bit, which I'll get into a little more in detail later on tonight. We're doing a 10-minute first round and a 5-minute second round. And the judges will score the entire fight in its entirety, as opposed to round and round, which a lot of Americans are used to, with that old boxing style at 10-9. So it's really going to be a little bit different to see, but it's going to be more accurate than a long time, and the way the rules are set. It'll make a lot of sense once you think it's going forward.
We have a sparkling undercard for you, and of course the man, Fedor Emelianenko, will cap off tonight with Hungman Choi, a very intriguing matchup, as we've already talked about. David and Goliath, in this sense, though, the guy that's 7-2 is really the David. He comes in here anywhere from a 10 to 12 to 1 underdog. Earlier, Ron Kruk caught up with Fedor, and let's listen in on that interview.
Fedor, you had a very busy 2007, although most of it was outside of the ring. The highlight had to be your signing with the upstart M1 Global. Why did you sign up with that organization?
2007 was quite successful for me. Yes, pride is now gone, and I was not able to participate in the pride anymore. But after negotiating with several MMA organizations, I decided to sign a contract with M1 Global. And besides that, I became a Russian champion, and also I became a world champion in Samba. So it was quite a successful year.
Most people thought that we would see you in the UFC. I know that you spoke with Dana White in the Ultimate Fighting Championship. Why did you decide not to go with that organization?
You know, we were negotiating with UFC, but we focused on negotiations with UFC. We couldn't find a common ground with them. The things that either I or Buddy didn't like is UFC is that their top leaders' attitude for fighters. Looking at the contract, we thought that you must be pretty strict on the contract.
There are many free agents out there. Do you have any opponents on your radar that you'd like to get into the ring?
You know, once I was asked when I was fighting the leaders, I was asked the same question, and I answered that I'd like to try to use the strongest fighters in the world. And the answer still remains the same. I'd like to fight with the strongest, and I have to prove to myself and to the others that I am capable of fighting with the strongest in the world.
I spoke with Randy Couture in Dallas at HDNet Fights, and he said he is willing to sit out until his contract with the UFC expires in April with a chance to fight you. Does that bout interest you?
I respect him very much, and it's going to be a great honor to fight with him, and I also would like to wait for that opportunity.
Do you feel that fight will take place?
Yes, I think so. The fight will take place.
You made all MMA fans very happy. Hardcore MMA fans know who you are. You're the #1 ranked fighter in the world. But for those who are just starting to look into the sports in the United States, might not have ever seen you fight. Is this a big opportunity on HDNet for the American public to
I ain't going nowhere.
Yes, of course, it's a great opportunity.
No, I know.
And it's a great opportunity for the Northern Country
I ain't going nowhere.
familiar, get closer with me.
I ain't going
And
nowhere.
I'd like to also win the American fight, just as what I did with Japanese.
No, I ain't saying I'm
Fedor, you are
recording
preparing for
something.
your 5th straight New Year's Eve fight here in Japan.
No, I ain't. I ain't going nowhere. No, I'm recording something.
Kind of getting a tradition for me. And why do I like fighting in Japan? Because I became famous, especially in Japan. After I became a champion in Japan, it was a pride championship was being held in Japan. And I'm really glad that I'm fighting here in Japan.
Fight, you will be
No, I'm fine.
champion. And now
No, I don't. God.
yours. Do you feel this is maybe a farewell fight here in Japan?
I'm not recording you. I ain't recording nobody. That's a lie. I didn't record nothing. I didn't record any of you guys. That's a lie.
Fedor, let's talk about your opponent, Hungman Choi. Now, you have faced
Yeah, I did. But no, that's the only.
on New Year's Eve. But this year,
I deleted
you're
it.
going against an unproven fighter.
You have your own channel. Wait,
Hungman Choi. What interested you in this fight?
Well, please say you like this thing that's pretty unhappy. And he's got things on there, he's over, he's the #1 fighter in Korea.
I'm not going nowhere. No, I ain't. No, I ain't. I ain't going nowhere. Yes, you are. I ain't going nowhere. No, I'm not. Oh, no, I'm not.
He's 7'2".
What?
Weighs you by close to
No,
150
no,
pounds.
I ain't going
What is
nowhere.
your
No,
strategy against Hungman Choi?
Talking about strategy, I probably would try to take him down to the floor, but a lot of parts of the fight might be taking place in standing. It all depends on how he is going to fight his moves. Usually this is indicated in the fight on the live
Is this a no-win situation for the fight? If you win, you
don't
go
wanna
down
listen to us
as
no
the
more, you
#1
need to get out of there.
professional MMA.
If you don't want to listen, get out and be on your own.
If you lose,
Come back in here. To do what? Because she said so.
There's still a lot to gain from bringing over Jacob Mom because he's one of the strongest freedom fighter and one of the strongest standing fighter. And Fedor once said that Fedor is not going to be over big fighter. So I'm going to prove my strongest strength over fighter.
Thank you, Fedor, for your time and honesty.
Less than 4 hours away from bringing in 2008 here in Tokyo. And a packed house at the Saitama Super Arena. And a super arena it is. Over 27,000 here tonight, primarily to see Fedor Emelianenko make his return to action as we get ready to get this fight night underway. And one of the two Americans on the card tonight getting ready to come out. There he is out of Chicago, Illinois. Mike Russo, 31 years old. 6-1 record coming into this fight. 251 pounds is not a small heavyweight either. You know, most of the heavyweights in the past, and traditionally now we're starting to see guys like Michael Prokof come to around 225. Fedor only weighs in about 235, 240. And a lot of the heavyweights now are getting smaller, more agile. Mike Russo's coming in at 251, and he's still just as agile, even with that bigger weight. I know it's not like much, but 20 pounds difference is that kind of size. It makes it hard to move that body weight around, and Russo does a great job of it. Hoping tonight, you know, as the American, and open up the card this evening, he's able to get a very convincing and early victory. Russo has been a very active fighter in 2007. A 4-1 record this year alone. So obviously he has picked up his pace and intensity in the training and the fighting over the last 12 months. Well, he knows now that to be, he kind of won his first 4 matches, much of that's natural athletic ability. He knows now that you really have to train to be a student of the game. To do this really at a full-time level, you have to start.
I ain't trying to run no one out the house. What do you mean?
Becomes more of a fight schedule. And he really embraces that. It's amazing for his style. That's such a grueling style that he can keep such a high pace up. And his opponent, Roman Simsov, 34-year-old Russian, a 16-11 record.
What?
Won 7 of his last 8 fights. He had a very weird loss that friendly Nicole was a situation where we thought both for sure Zensov's going to win. Then they kind of was on the game, like Thomas game 2 or 3 years ago. It really wasn't on. Thomas game wasn't ready for that kind of competition, and it could be wrong, but they didn't win. Zensov has to prove that.
I ain't saying I'm doing nothing. I ain't saying I'm doing nothing.
He actually is.
No, I ain't. You know what I'm doing. What are you?
I'm the guy that can actually show that the rest of the team is good just as well as Fedor is. Let's take a look now at the tail of the tape. Russo and Simsov to get us started here. Simsov, 3 years older. More experience coming in here to this fight. Russo with the weight advantage.
Girl, what do you want to use her phone?
This is the biggest stage of his corner. And what it's like for him to step in and all the introductions and the pageantry that's gone along with the night. Now he leads off the fight card. Well, when Gretchen was still around, last year, and he first lost, but that was only
I have to have it for tomorrow. I just started classes. I just started classes. I have to have it for school. For virtual.
How big there is here in Japan is that
I might not have what? Why is it what? I have to use it for tomorrow.
His first fight.
Why are you laughing at? You're always. I have to have it for tomorrow. This is the beginning.
We'll update you on that, of course.
This is the beginning.
This is the first one scheduled for.
But do you want me to start that at the beginning? Ooh! We have to scan ourselves so that make sure we don't cheat. What are you talking about? What, like walk down the browser? Could I scan it with the phone? I have to have it. So you want me to film my first assignment? So you want me to film my first assignment then? Then how am I supposed to do it? How am I going to do it then?
Man! Here is now he tries to get the ground and pound action going. As the lid of the round goes.
She doesn't. She's not part of the NBA. That's not how it works. You can't do it. I have school tomorrow.
Drag pass. Going right into a non-choke on the front side. He's a little bit out of position here. And since it is so big, though, it is easy to get this as tight as possible because we don't have space. He seems grabbing the outfit, trying to get the air back. That's how things are in trouble over here.
He's running. I can't leave. I'll find a way.
Then more than a choke because of the strength
Not
and the
the way
shoulder.
to talk to people. That I need.
Very early.
You can't just take your mess up when I'm starting school. No, don't do that. I have to have it for school.
Yeah, there's no chances to punish him. Move your body, try to get yourself back. At least they have that, not all the way to full guard. Continues to try to open a position where he's going to try to see going against Zensov. Nice side position. He's in position no position to move. So good and agile at the ground position. Russo is able to do that. How quiet the crowd has been. It's just a few minutes ago. There's a nice knee by Russo. You can overhear some of the conversation coming from Russo's corner. They're encouraging him, of course, with the way the fight's going at this moment. He slammed Zensov early and has been in control of the ground. It doesn't look like much is happening. There's a lot of action going on here. He keeps reapplying, reworking his front head arm choke, trying to get it. He's just looking arm loose. Now he's got something a little bit deeper, just a head choke. You can see this is it. Russo's got it. Russo. He did a really good job. He kept working. They finally said, okay, I'm going to get in this position. I'm able to, finally slide it off. He's either lose the arm to actually sink it in better because Zensov is so big on the shoulders. It's hard for him. And it's just amazing. I just don't think that Zensov is ready to put himself in the line like that Fedor has kind of brought to the team. And he just seems to be a little bit more, losing more on anxiety than on his abilities. We've seen his abilities in the past. And obviously Russo, now has proven, at least to the other fans, I've already been a fan of his, but the other fans, hey, look, now he's ready for the bigger stage. Big win then for Russo tonight, and he closes out his 2007 campaign with a 5-1 record. It's certainly a happy new year for Russo and all of his family and friends in Chicago. Yeah, I mean, that's what a great way to end up the year, especially being a guy as big a name as Zensov and has such a huge name to the heavyweight division. That makes it great. It really is a great start, obviously, having the American win at the first weight. Then to win by submission against a great submission specialist. Zensov has a really good sambo background. He's able to beat it very easily and pull it off. As we take a look here at Luis Azeredo making his trip down here, doing the traditional shootbox style of walk-in. Of course, he hails from Curitiba, Brazil, where shootbox was made famous by Vanderlei Silva and the Hua brothers, who are now, as everyone else is going up and moving along. Luis Azeredo now is one of the main stars, up-and-coming stars, coming out of shootbox now. What they like to say is a 10th generation of shootbox star coming out there, and Luis is that guy. Azeredo's had a long layoff. So is his opponent tonight, Kawajiri. These guys last fought, not against each other, but they last fought in December of 06. So it's, we'll see if there's any ring rust as they get ready to do battle here. Yeah, there will be some ring rust, but are they able to overcome it as they get ready to compete? We don't know. We only know at the end of the fight. And really, is ring rust a factor when you train with the guys at shootbox? It is a lot of action. There's always somebody getting ready for a fight. There's always someone prepping for the next week. So I'm sure Azaredo's had some time for training and be in the mental state of having to get ready, the other guys get ready for a fight. Let's see if he's able to pull this off tonight for himself, because now let's shake it off and see if I'm ready to go now. Look at Azaredo's record. 11-6 coming into this. He's lost to Gomi twice, and any good fighters can say that, can't they? They've gotten in the ring at all with Gomi. Yeah, Gomi's one of a very strange anomaly that a lot of guys ran into him that should have been able to beat him very easily, and he knocked him cold very quickly. He also lost to Sakurai, and he lost to Hansen, and they do have a common opponent here as Kawajiri gets ready to come in, and he also has lost to Gomi. Gomi beat a lot of guys on that list that's beat Azaredo with Sakurai, who's fighting later tonight, and Sakurai got beat by Gomi as well in the lightweight Grand Prix last year. So you get to see these things happen, and like I said, it's MMA, anything can happen. You can see a lot of upsets tonight, or it could go as planned, where every favorite fighter ends up winning. When you're talking about a guy like Kawajiri, he's always a favorite fighter when he's fighting in his home country of Japan, and he has amazing stand-up skill, but his biggest game, the reason why his stand-up skill is so good is because people are scared to shoot on him because they don't want to end up underneath him, because he's got one of the most devastating ground-and-pound action games in the country today. Really, look at any world, anyone in the MMA world at all, his ground and pound is probably the best, if not definitely top 3. And he really has strength and conditioning that you need to have a high action ground and pound game that he brings to it very well. And he's developed it. It gets better and better every time he fights, even though it has been a year. It's not time to do it. Tatsuya Kawajiri making his way to the ring, 19-4-2. As you mentioned, Frank, about his punching ability, those 19 wins, 10 have come by some form of knockout. He's got heavy hands. He will go ahead and get a guy tired and then knock him out. So he doesn't do early knockouts. He should be learning later. As we take a look now at our tail of the tape, Azaredo and Kawajiri. A slight height and reach advantage for Azaredo. We'll see if that comes into effect. One thing that might is Azaredo has lost 3 of his last 5 fights. Had that unanimous decision victory over Daly back in early December of 2006. Kawajiri, meanwhile, had a 4-fight win streak stopped a year ago here to Gilbert Melendez. Melendez has won every fight, of course, so that was a big test at that time for Melendez coming in to defeat a fighter of the quality of Kawajiri, known as the Crusher. Now, those of you just saw Yuki Shimada, the referee for this fight. You saw him stomping his feet on the ground. And I talked about earlier, we talked about the modified, unified rules. For those of you used to seeing in Japan, is the head stomping, the socket kicks. They're not allowed tonight. There's no head stomping, there's no socket kicks to a down opponent. You're standing on your feet. He's on his back. I can't go ahead and punch him or kick him in the head. But I am allowed to knee him. Wow, great exchange happens right away. You are allowed to knee him at any time. It's no different what position he's in. You are allowed to knee him a little bit at any time. And of course, there are no elbows. Obviously, that's why I'm saying the unified and modified. Azaredo and Kawajiri, you know, with these two guys, when they go on it and start swinging, no one's going to back down. This would seem to be the fight that they would both want. Yeah, and stylistically, it's a good fight for both guys. And look at the shoulder action, at the shoulder ability, and all aspects of the fight team. Not just submission, not just striking. Both these guys are going to ground. Great takedown, great leg sweep to a body lock. And you'll be able to see whether or not Azaredo was able to work on the ground. You'll be able to see if Kawajiri was able to work his ground and pound like he always wants to do. Kawajiri getting the takedown. And remember, the scoring system here, it's not a round-by-round scoring like people are familiar with in the United States. This is over the course of the entire fight, the way the points are accumulated by the judges here ringside. And that makes a big difference because really in the first round is 10 minutes. You're looking at it, and all of a sudden you're looking at a position where, I was winning the first 3 minutes, but I lost in the last 7 minutes. that's not what happens when you win the round. It's not traditional that a lot of guys will tend to kind of slow down at the end of the round. If you know judges are judging it in entirety, you have no choice but to have action the entire time.
You heard the crowd. Anticipation swelling with them as Kawajiri drew back trying to get a punch in on Azzarino. Was not able to. Now tries to move up closer. Azzarino slides out. Head pops through the rope there. So they'll reposition out in the middle of the ring.
Azzarino doing a good job here. Taking a little time to reset. Getting a little breath and gathering himself. Depending on your style of competition and how your mind works, it's a good position. Take a little extra time when you get it.
Especially again, this is the first fight of the year for both fighters. Last fought December of 06. What about the pacing too in this 10-minute round to start things off? The two guys have been laid off now.
Now, people think about it, they go, well, it's just 2 rounds back to back, it's not that big a deal, but that mid-range you guys in 5 is completely different than having a 10-minute first round. It's a lot more taxing on the body, a lot more exhausting.
Howard Jr. getting a nice shot into the side of the head. Crowd cheering with every punch he's throwing right now.
He's starting to land a lot more aim now. He's starting to really bounce the head around. Azzarino's got to get off his bottom. He's taking too much damage. He's not able to tie him up at all. Howard Jr.'s hitting it from a different angle. It's going to wear and tear on him. He can move.
Kawajiri controlling the action here in the early going of this first round, this 10-minute round.
Bad position here. You saw Azzarino try to reach in that right from the sweep, and you got a guy that punches much as Kawajiri. You both your hands up by your head. You either tying his arms up or locking the punches.
Not all these punches obviously punishing, but Kawajiri is certainly dictating the pace here, and you get the feeling that if he gets a hammer fist down there or something, that he can do some damage pretty quick.
But yeah, and he hits, he's so strong. You can see his upper torso strength just by looking at him. He's very strong, a great position. Now he's really getting off. Got that hand tied up. He's really starting to line him up. You can start to see how his head's getting hit a lot more. Azzarino's head's getting hit a lot more. Kawajiri's doing a lot better job with his aim.
Azzarino, all he can do is try to defend himself as best he can here as Kawajiri continues to throw punch after punch.
He needs to make up his mind. Azzarino's doing a great job of getting his knees inside, but he's not. There he goes. Now he's going to push away. He's not pushing away or pulling him in. If you get your knees in there, you got to use them. Pull the guy into you. Push him away with those knees to keep from hitting the face.
Kawajiri closing in now.
Very flexible, Azzarino. You see he's getting his heel up and hip every time, getting the push off.
Nice short punch there, Kawajiri. You see him knock back. He's one to unload one big one, isn't he? And the crowd wants him to.
Azzarino's looking for an armbar, looking for a triangle. His legs up high. He's trying to work the high guard as opposed to the low guard. He's just not. He's doing a good job bringing it on his backhand and keeping a lot of action, but not overextending himself.
If you look at the definition of Kawajiri, you would not guess just on appearance that these guys are the same weight class, would you, when they first walk in?
No, not at all. Kawajiri is so much bigger, so much stronger, big, a little shorter. So he gives up a mass. When he gains a mass, he loses strength. We're just with about 4:45, just under 5 minutes left in this first 10-minute round. You can see how the pace of the fight is starting to slow down. Most other fights, this is the first round. We're ending now. You can see how the pace is starting to slow down a little bit. And the defense is getting a little bit, sloppy from Azzarino. So I see Kawajiri hands it a little bit hard, hit a little more with more accuracy and out hard.
Tatsuya Kawajiri calling pretty much his shots here in this first round.
He's going to complete control this entire time. Azzarino really has been defensive and ain't chance at all.
Even when he's swinging and missing, the crowd is in this.
Kawajiri's staying in the guard. He's trying to start. He's hitting him so much now. He's start trying to punch pass, get to a side position, either half guard or full side. Once you're there, a guy can't submit you very easily. A lot less easy than getting to the guard position, and you can get a lot more striking.
As Ludo was pointing out earlier, trying to maybe see if he can get a triangle going. He
arms long enough to try to get a submission that way. But he was very good. He's not resting with his arms extended. He resting with anything about his hips, so no way to catch him. Howard Geary fighting a very smart fight. He doesn't look like a guy that's been out of action, at least in the ring, in a real fight, let's call it. Obviously, he's been training hard for this, but this is his first real fight in over, well, it's been 1 year ago since Gilbert Melendez beat him. And he's pushed the pace, a lot higher pace than he fought Gilbert. He's before his Gilbert in the match. Azaredo at this point in the match at all. You see a yellow card pop out for stalling is what they're calling it for. That's what Yuji Shimada just told Azaredo. You're stalling, not doing anything. So I'm gonna give you a yellow card. I'm gonna take 10% of your purse as well. Every time you see a yellow card out here, you're 10% of your purse as well. And that's what really stings. That stings about as much as some of these punches, I would imagine, going already. Yeah, I mean, no matter how much money you make, 10% of your income. Think it was a good call, though? I do. I think Ezra was doing anything down there at all. It wasn't using his knees to push, using his legs to pull in. He really wasn't doing anything other than just laying there trying to stop him from getting hit. He's got to be in a better position. Oh, and there he goes down. Kawajiri takes him right back down. With the exact same position, almost the exact same leg sweep he used the first time. Just catches that heel and keeps it tight to his body and leans right on him. And we're used to standing on two legs. You only have one leg, and you're on that side, you can fall over. Kawajiri not doing anything differently. Everything he's done has been so effective. No point changing any part of the game plan here. Yeah, the only reason why I change the position at this point is because you see yourself finishing it in a different position. But then that, he can dominate so much from full guard and just really destroying Azaredo at this point. And I have to agree with you, Ken, to stay in this position going about the result. Azaredo does look like the guy that maybe should have tried to sneak a fight in there before this one, doesn't he? Yeah, he needed a little more time, and he's just not. He's got great flexibility. Oh, there's Azaredo. Wait, maybe he's going possum. He's going for the rear naked choke. He's amazing for his back position. He's got great position, but Kawajiri is very, very strong and has very big shoulders. Trying to get him in on him. Got the headlock in there now. Can't get that big left arm of his under the neck right now, but Azaredo suddenly springs to life here. He's got a minute 20 to try to do something with it, and hopefully he can pull this off. He might be able to get a finish here. But Kawajiri's got to hold that wrist. He's got a good defense on it. He needs to get his back to the mat now. He's got his back on top of Azaredo's chest. He needs to get his back on the mat, his hand free. That's going to be able to get the position to finish. Oh, switch no armbar. Kawajiri dominating this fight, but Azaredo now trying to wrap it up here with the submission. We're under a minute right now, about 55 seconds left in this first round. And Azaredo had a great finishing position and gave it up. But now he's paying for it. Some hammers coming down from Kawajiri. Kawajiri's got his elbow out. The armbar it looked like it was in, but it wasn't. It was completely out of the position. Azaredo in this long first round, this 10-minute first round, he's already received a yellow card for being inactive. He sprang to life, but now Kawajiri is closing out strong once again. Scoring with punch after punch. He's picking his spots. We're here about 25 seconds left in this first round. Kawajiri's just picking the spot and taking it. Azaredo right now has become a punching bag down there. Remember, every time you get hit, hit on the canvas, it's really 4 hits because your head hits the canvas as well, and your brain shifts around there a little bit, so you're doing a lot more damage than it looks. Round 1 coming to a close. Kawajiri dominating just about every minute of it. Wow, absolutely. I mean, I gotta be honest with you, the ring rust looks to be on Azaredo, not on Kawajiri at all. If he slowed down at all, if anything's not working, I gotta be honest with you, I don't see it right now in Kawajiri's game. It looks the same as he did a year ago, and he looks to be in a little bit better shape, maybe a little more determined because the last fight was a loss. I'm not sure, what goes on inside his psyche. I'm not able to train him until he looks over here in Japan, but he obviously looks better, at least to say it's not a little bit better than he did a year ago. Nice leg on Kawajiri. Let's take a look at him early on. He got the trip. Got it on the ground. He did it later. And this was almost, you could show this in the first part or the last part of the round, and that's just about all the way it went. Yeah, really, honestly, Azaredo really didn't do much, but tried not to get hit, tried not to get pushed around, tried not to get bullied. But yet, it was happening the whole time. He just didn't have any answer for Kawajiri at all, and if this goes to the distance, I really got to believe that Kawajiri is going to decisively win this fight. But of course, you know me, I always prefer to see a finish.
Well, what I thought was really interesting too is Azaredo, who got the yellow card and was just kind of hanging out. He's just hanging out, watched himself get hit. It looked like for most of this first round, and suddenly springs to action. Tried the rear naked choke, then tried the arm bar, and had that burst of about a minute and a half late in the first round.
And those of you at home that thought that break was a little bit long, it was. The break's here at 90 seconds, as opposed to a minute, which most of us are used to at home. So it's a 10-minute first round, a 90-second break, and then a 5-minute second round, and if that goes all the way, then the three judges at ringside get the score, we got the winner. Azaredo in the black, Kawajiri in the red, as they start this second 5-minute round now. Nice kick by Kawajiri, who shoots in this time. Azaredo able to stay up well for about that long on his feet. Now he's right back in a similar spot.
His arms cut underneath, and really, his corner, I know the guys over Kuchamar told him, one of his trainers in the corner told him, you got to move, you get going, you're getting down there, you're getting beat this whole round. If you don't do something, it's over. There's a difference. This is not the sport to go out there and try to survive. If you don't be mad at you play baseball, and you want to just ride the rails, you can go ahead and do that, not get hurt. You try to ride the rails in an MMA fight, it's going to be you can get a lot of damage from you very, very quickly. So you got to get after it, get something moving. My wife is a huge baseball fan. I won't watch it. Just got mad at me.
Who's your favorite team?
You know what? I don't have a favorite team. I have a lot of players, a friends of mine, between Bree Johnson and Aaron Rowan and Penny and the Weavers. I'm pretty lucky in that sense, but actually I don't like baseball at all. I hate it.
Kawajiri with a good left hook. And another takedown.
So I was hoping right there that Azaredo would be able to pull something in, and he had that front head choke. Kawajiri was too good with submission.
Kawajiri and Azaredo, this is their first fight of the year. Both fought December of 2006. A loss for Kawajiri, a victory for Azaredo, and Kawajiri coming out here certainly as the hungry fighter and the fighter who looks in the best shape right now. And certainly in the best shape on the judges' cards.
Both guys weighed in at 157 pounds, lightweight division. They're definitely a big factor. But like I said before, lightweight division is usually controlled by Japan, and we can see why. Look at the talent pool that they have over here with these guys.
They continue to cheer every punch that Kawajiri throws.
Do a cut now, then that's going to be a side cut. Kawajiri is really good at smelling the blood. Once he sees that cut, he knows the finish is coming.
You can see that left eye of Azaredo now. It's really opened up.
Azaredo's moving in desperate positions now, just looking for any way to get the pressure off. Kawajiri just will not give up, and we'll see a little bit more of this later tonight when Ishida and his teammate competes, because he competes the exact same way. Constant pressure, always looking for it.
Azaredo trying to just hang on here. Kawajiri dominated the first round, doing the same here in the second round. And the punch count on this would have to be something like 30 to 1 or more, 50 to 1. I was trying to remember when Azaredo actually had a punch of significance.
I think it was the 6 second minute push.
When he was shadow boxing coming down the steps to the ring.
There's about a minute 20, minute 15 left in this second round, and Kawajiri's completely dominated and showed the reason why he's one of the better
in the world. Great stamina, great position. And really, Alvarado just needs to go back to drawing board. What is it do? Got to give him this much pressure. Kawajiri with a huge return to action. A minute to go in this fight. You wonder if Alvarado has, I don't know what he can do at this stage, Frank. Or, a miracle submission. He's tried a half dozen different submissions, but none of them are close. Barring a miracle submission, there's nothing you can do. Kawajiri has been smart, getting his punches in. He's avoided the arm bar. Got out of a rear naked choke attempt by Alvarado. And Kawajiri continues to swing away. Constant pressure by Kawajiri is amazing. It never stops. Partial knee bar. This fight coming to a close. Kawajiri going out strong. Tatsuya Kawajiri last fought New Year's Eve 2006. Lost to Gilbert Melendez. Comes back here a year later. And I'm predicting wins this one big. You see Kawajiri, who talked about earlier, 19-4-2. 10 of those victories by way of knockout. As the punching powers we've seen, it's gone to the judges. They have made their decision. Yeah, it had to be unanimous, didn't it?
There's no other way to see it. No matter what card you're looking at, a hijack figure this one out. Kawajiri completely dominated.
The evening started with Mike Russo picking up a big victory. He's standing by now with Ron.
Chicago, Illinois' Mike Russo. Mike, you said yesterday at the weigh-ins that the key to this fight was getting it to the mat as soon as possible, or you executed that to perfection.
Oh, yeah, that was my plan going into this the whole time. I mean, Roman's done stuff. He's very heavy-handed, and my game plan was to take him down. And actually, I want to get that north-south shout. I've been getting a lot of people with it.
Yeah, you got it. Now, a win over an established veteran fighter like Zensov, that has to be a fight that can really propel you to the next level, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, I mean, it's great for your confidence. I mean, just all the hard work that you put into this, and to beat a good guy like him, I'm just ready to move on, get back in the gym, and just start training harder. I'm ready for the next person, whoever it is.
Mike, what will be next for you? This was a big one.
Oh, it's huge. Whatever my manager, Monty Cox, he's the man. Whatever he wants me to do next, that's what I'll do.
Congratulations and Happy New Year.
Hey, Happy New Year to you guys, too.
Thank you. All right, Frank and Kenny, back to you.
All right, thanks, Ron. Indeed, a big win for Mike Russo to get us started. We get ready now for our third fight of this evening. Here at Yaranoka, before a packed house at the St. Thomas Super Arena, over 20,000 here. Fedor's return coming up later live here on HDNet. Meanwhile, we get ready for one of the veterans, former UFC middleweight champ, Murillo Bustamante, as he makes his way toward the cage.
The oldest fighter on the card tonight at 41.
Said cage, obviously the ring, but yeah, he's going back to the UFC days with it.
It's it really, once you get in there, it's all the same. It's a competition. It's competition whether you're in a ring or a cage. It's a little bit different stylistically what you have to prepare for. But for Bustamante, it doesn't make a difference to him because the submission game is so good on the ground. Like I was saying before, at 41 years old, the oldest competitor, will age be a factor? Will it slow things down a little bit for him? Obviously, his technique and his style and his thought process is so much better than most. It's still going to be difficult for him to try to put it together with his age, because it will slow things down metabolism-wise, even though the mind is just as sharp as ever.
And when you look at his career and his record of 14-6-1, I mean, it's a veritable who's who. A win over Matt Lindland, a loss to Dan Henderson twice, and Quentin Jackson once, and Chuck Liddell. I mean, pretty much that's a Hall of Fame roster that he's gone into the battle with. Yeah, Bustamante is one of the best guys that's been around for the longest time. Truly one of the traditional icons of MMA. Is there a bit of a newcomer to the MMA scene? And Matteo Takamoto, judo guy, obviously one of the better players in judo. He tends to use only judo when he competes, though. That's a guy like Murilo Bustamante. If you only use judo, you're not going to be able to beat him. Because his submission is better than your judo. You may throw him to the ground, but he's going to be able to nullify you and submit you once you hit the ground. So it's one of those situations where hopefully he's developed his game a little bit more, Takamoto has, so now where he's going to use his strikes, he's going to use his wrestling ability a little bit more to control the takedown the way through. Otherwise, it does no good. Makoto Takamoto, who has that great judo background, including an Olympic gold medal in there. As we look at the tail of the tape, Bustamante, it leaps out. He has the height advantage. Does that make a difference with the 41 years? He's given up 8 years to Takamoto, but he does have a sizable height reach advantage.
The reach advantage, the height advantage will not make a difference in this because both guys are in close. Both guys are inside fighters that can put him to the ground. Obviously, judo is really tight. One of those styles a little bit looser inside the punching range. The height factor will not make a difference in this one because they don't strike as much as some of the other fighters.
Takamoto, who began his judo career at 6 years old, dreamed of making it to the Olympics, and he did in style, taking home the top prize. Round one is underway. This is a 10-minute rounder, and there you see the big swing and a miss with the kick early of Takamoto, who is 1-1. He's not been very active in the last year and a half. That dates back to December of 2005.
Being in the sport takes a little more confidence to develop, especially when you come from Olympic gold medalists in judo. Get those first couple fights under the belt, you realize how much more difficult this really is.
Warning there about grabbing onto the ropes.
We're standing there, watching inside, height, deep advantage. Now it doesn't make a difference.
Timeout call.
Derek Carr looks like on the rope, touching the ropes again.
Well, it isn't like Bustamante would be unfamiliar with the rules.
Been around a long time, and now the rules are picking up right. Him and Matt Newman.
Oh, that was a good punch there. Good combination by Bustamante. Takamoto trying to come back with it.
Wow, great exchange. Miller's using his hands. A lot better than he has in the past. He's locked up. He's winning that battle for him to tie up right now. Did you got it? Oh!
Takamoto gets the takedown. Bustamante with the surprise here, coming up swinging away there for a moment. Looked like a boxer, didn't it?
Great armbar. Sunk right into a great hip motion. He's got it sunk in. But Takamoto did a good job defending. He's got his hands locked. Can't extend yet.
Takamoto, the younger and less experienced MMA fighter against one of the veterans in Bustamante.
Takamoto did a good job of getting his head back between the legs. Get the armbar off. But that caught again. He's going to reach across and get a little leg and slip him back to his hip.
Bustamante trying to hang on and look at Takamoto.
Good work by Takamoto.
Oh, but he's right.
Position the entire time. He had
a lot of balls there, didn't he, to get out of that?
Can't panic, especially the guy with more Bustamante on top of him around that. His favorite position.
Takamoto trying goes up, gets a Bustamante. And now the height difference. Oh, great leg sweep. And position for Takamoto.
Where was mine?
Now Bustamante trying to work over the top. Takamoto doing a good job of keeping Bustamante in his guard. Not traditional in judo. That's wow, Takamoto to the delight of this packed house. He's got an answer for everything that Bustamante's doing. Constant motion, constant movement, Takamoto. Did not give Bustamante a lot of fight. Takamoto does not look like the 3-3 fighter coming into this. No, it looks a lot better, a lot more motion, a lot more movement, a lot more confidence too in his position change. Bustamante would consider maybe trying to make this a stand-up fight once again. That's been his best action this year. That's one of the things you have to, Murillo basically runs and coaches and trains him in his camp. It's hard to be in his corner because you're one of the students. But yeah, if I was in his corner, I would tell him, this isn't working for the guys. He gets in the back position, keeping it tight, looking for the rear naked choke. If this doesn't work, get back to the feet, start swinging again.
He's gonna have me on my don't. This a demon spirit on my body.
Takamoto able to stand up and get out of this, and now gets Bustamante back down. Looking for a nice head throw.
Two fights just passed.
Good job of counting. Quickly regaining control here on the ground. Good right by Bustamante.
3 hours.
Good job closing out that guard and getting as far in as he can. You can't really see him down the line, but inside his knees out, trying to pass at the same time. Bustamante now goes with the knee. And now moves into full mount. Takamoto is going to stand up and try to stand out of this already. You see the height advantage. It's sort of like Bustamante brought his kid to the fight. Grabs hold of that wheel. Takamoto gets that wheel out there again. Levar. Bustamante trying to get the submission here in the first round. Crowd sensing it. Takamoto's had an answer for everything. Will he have one more? Great defense. A really good job with his legs to defend out each one of those knee bars. A lot of other guys with his range experience don't feel like out of that as easily. Takamoto, this is his third fight since December 2005. He's gone up against one of the pioneers of mixed martial arts, former UFC middleweight champ, Murillo Bustamante. Once again now in full mount, and once again, Takamoto trying to squirm out of it. Now let's see if we're right. Bustamante stays his hands again.
A lot of bad things happen to people, especially Christians, man.
Trying to answer back. Bustamante, good right.
Like you said, not back
nice left by Takamoto, but Bustamante answers. Fedor did a good job getting his head out of the way, but every time he swung, he was off balance completely. Falls to the ground and gives up mounts. Now, traditionally, let's see some head kicks here. Remember, rules have changed. These are modified rules here, so there's no head kicks for down the corner. This changes the game. If the fight would have been over in this position, but traditionally, the old rules, the new rules, more improved rules, the better rules. No head stops, no side kicks to the head. Gets it safe with the head. At least in this case, better for the fans, to give it a little more fight time.
So you're not.
Boost the body again. Deliver one big punch. He certainly was much more impressive when he showed up. That's when he felt his most damage, Boost the body in this first round. Submission attempts, even though it's amazing, the vertical attempts. Once the defense is so good, you're correct. Honestly, like I wondered, with Takimoto actually, you wind up scoring the points by being able to escape those submission attempts in the eyes of the judges. Escapes do count. If you do look at it, judge, you look at the escape points, but if you get to the escape point, you caught something. So, that's your own submission is a little bit more. 1 minute to go here in this first round. So breathless over the right eye of Takimoto. Bustamante continues to look at Takimoto. He's going to exchange with him once again, showing the southpaw stance. Bustamante, good left. Takimoto is getting back to the ground. Takimoto's making the classic mistake of a judo player. Every time he gets in trouble, he tries to throw. There's no key to grab onto, so he gives up a better position because he's looking for this throw that there's no place to hold on to. He gets it again inside control, inside control, as opposed to being inside control. He's check your knee at the gate here. Get ready to step into the ring. Final seconds of round one. Very entertaining first round. Takimoto playing it smart to me. No way I'm going to stand up in these final seconds and get Bustamante one more shot at me. No, there's no reason to, especially when you've been hit and when you were trying to hit back with those, you did land a couple of good blows. He was off balance. He did fall over. As you see, Bustamante with his great flexibility, it's the very first arm bar. He just snuck it in there, and he had it extremely tight. But Takimoto put his hands together. Now he's getting his position. He's finding his spot. Even though he got hit, he's able to hit Takimoto as well. Not the best technical punching that I've seen. I think one of my friends, Elena Reed, who's a world champion, I've called her fights before, would agree with me in this case. That Elena and I have debates all the time about how boxing MMA is not as good as boxing for boxing's sake. There's no reason to, but obviously that boxing can be a little bit tighter. And then here once again is Takimoto in trouble, but getting out of trouble. Now, I like how he uses his foot to get away from that. As you didn't see it, that he used a great position. This is the ref cam. As you see here, this is what the referee sees. He has this wrapped around his head a little bit. And it really is a new advantage that you can see here in Japan with the head cams and the referees. They give you a different view than what you're used to. Makoto Takimoto, 3-3 as a pro, the Olympic gold medalist in judo in 2000. Still young in the MMA game, but showing a lot of poise here against the big favorite in Murilo Bustamante. Bustamante is really, on paper, especially in a long time ago. This is definitely a lot more exciting than I thought it was going to be. Nick Palikas, who does the odds for us on Inside MMA, works for ButOnFighting.com. He actually had Bustamante as a 5-1 favorite coming into this fight. Here we go into the second and final round. Bustamante once again coming out, trying to get some leather in there. I don't know if he's confident in his hand game or he just keeps his hands a little bit too low, especially with the guys. While Takimoto has been throwing that big right hand with his head down, he connects him a little bit to put Bustamante out. He can keep his hands a little bit higher to get that chance. Bustamante with those underhooks in there, but getting the flip, that's a classic judo move, isn't it? Takimoto, good counter, great job. Getting himself out of there. Bustamante, I don't understand. You know, I'm a little bit confused. Why would you get to the ground for so much better on his feet, tire out Takimoto, embarrass him a little bit, frustrate him a little bit. Don't put him in a position where he's comfortable. As Glenn asked earlier, you know, I know Bustamante, obviously a former UFC champ we talked about. He's 41 years old. But you see some of his moves, maybe some of it work a little bit more with his stand-up game. He's got some pretty good punching there. He has been working on it, you know, as a bit. A lot of guys coming out of Brazilian top teams working on their main game. It just sometimes doesn't translate all of a sudden on Saturday night in the ring. I was right. It's a little bit different. The lights are on.
Yeah, but at the same time.
Well, he's back up, and we'll see now. Takimoto will swing back at him. And look at that big uppercut that missed.
It was another day of work. Use your parents' finances while you're living with them to build up a YouTube channel. Invest in stuff.
See, there it is. There it is. Takimoto knocks him down. I think his fight might be coming to a close. Takimoto is all over Bustamante right now. Takimoto could be on his way to his biggest victory yet. Can Bustamante recover from that punch? Wow. He's got to keep it close. If he gives Takimoto any space at all, gets him a couple more punches, this fight will be done for Bustamante. The judo expert Takimoto with the biggest punch in this fight. And just like the boxman telling his orbsman to pull, roll. Listen to the crowd with Takimoto. There's 2 minutes left in the round, and Bustamante at this point, it's anybody's fight. He needs to get off the line once to win. Takimoto needs to keep swinging. Sharing with every punch of Takimoto. His arms caught underneath the body. He's got his other arm pinched up. He's in trouble here. Bustamante's not in a good position. He can't defend himself. Bustamante trying to wrap up. Takimoto now will try to go to the knees. And even the bottom of Bustamante for Takimoto. Obviously, another kind of reach advantage on the ground with those long legs of Bustamante. A minute to go in this fight. An impressive performance for Takimoto against the veteran Bustamante. Bustamante's corner, they can get a little action on Bustamante. This fight is definitely anybody's game still. Less than 30 seconds left. Takimoto trying to stretch that arm out of Bustamante. Great job of Takimoto with his hands together, keeping his head stuck in between the legs, so he won't be in that position. Bustamante now getting into the mount, trying to throw a few punches. Final seconds, this fight is over. Tough fight to call. Who do you have winning, Kenny? Get off the fence. You know what? I'm going to give it to Takimoto. I think because of the first round, he was able to escape, and in that second round, at this exchange of punches, there was the best punch of the night, that left hand. And I think Makoto Takimoto controlled this fight. There's a big left hand, hits him right on the chin. And there's one of the things I was saying earlier, when you're in MMA, you got to keep your hands up like a boxer. If you don't, anybody at any time you get knocked down like that, Bustamante was on his way to start to control the fight. He lost it. So we're going with Takimoto. Are we in agreement? We're in agreement. I got to go with Takimoto too, just because Bustamante had the fight, gave it away. You wonder what if he had to stay on his feet more and tried to swing away? It's a moot point now. The judges have made their decision.
Will you help wash the dishes for me? Hey. Which one y'all want him there wash dishes for me?
Makoto Takimoto.
Jay washes dishes. He give a lot.
With the biggest win of his young MMA career, the Olympic gold medalist in judo, and this is 7th pro fight.
Okay? You hear me,
That's
JJ?
off Murillo Bustamante.
I want you to wash the dishes. You in fact.
Great fight. A lot more action than it should have been on paper. Price went over a lot earlier.
I was supposed to watch him today,
Didn't
man.
finish the fight, actually got beaten in a split decision.
I was supposed to watch the dishes, but I didn't do it.
A lot more action. A lot more action.
Huh?
Takimoto comes in, the
Say what?
5-1 underdog, and pulls the upset.
It's my day, but I'm asking y'all to
Later, of course, Fedor
I'm asking you to watch the dishes
also
for me.
one of the rising lightweights in the world, Gilbert Melendez.
So you don't want to watch this for your dad, okay?
Trying to hold it down for California and the U.S. out here, and
will you watch this
like to
for me?
understand how prestigious it is and how well it's looked at out here, and it's definitely an honor to be out here to share the same stage with the best fighters in the whole world. You know, Fedor's fighting in that ring. You know, it's blessed already, that ring. You know, just for him stepping in it, and you know, guys like Calogeri, who I fought, Sakurai, Azevedo's here, Bustamante's here, Arona's supposed to fight. I mean, these guys are all living legends, and I get to share the same ring with them, man. It's a dream come true. It's an honor. It's, you know, it's definitely it's like, I wouldn't say it's my goal, but it's something like I've always been, you know, always wanted to, you know, stand in the same ring with these guys. A long way from the barnyard beat downs and the, you know, fighting in the sticks. You know, you gotta start somewhere. All you young fighters crying about money and everything already and stuff. You know, you gotta earn your respect a little before you start complaining. You know. So if you've never seen me fight, you know, you'll see that my style is just more of a relentless, high-paced fighting style. You know, I think I have, you know, tools on my feet, tools on my back, tools on top, tools in wrestling, and yeah, just a high-paced fighter that, you know, that likes to fight. My opponent is Mitsuhiro Shida. He's a top 10 guy. Last time I fought was actually New Year's Eve against Takimoto Gomi.
Get that trash from in front of the door.
So, you know, he was the #1 contender for that bout. You know, last year. He's a southpaw, he's an aggressive wrestler, but he has a lot of decisions, so I feel like, you know, he's not a guy that does a lot of finishes or does a lot of damage. So I think he's a really strong guy, a really good wrestler, and, you know, either I'm going to finish him or it's going to be a long fight. So I got to see him actually fight live, you know. Actually twice I've seen him fight live. And, you know, and I've seen him fight on video and, you know, live on pay-per-view a couple times. And, you know, he's more of a one-dimensional fighter, you know, wants to take you down and hold you and ground and pound you, you know. So I did my homework on him, research him. I don't overanalyze too much, but I definitely did my research on the guy, and I've seen him fight, and, you know, respect. My strategy is just, you know, to whoop him up, you know, to kick his butt. But, you know, I don't really say I have a game plan. But I am definitely prepared for, like, scenario A, scenario B, scenario C, you know, or scenario D, or every scenario out there I'm prepared for. I predict tonight's going to be, you know, a high-paced fight of the night. You know, I always try to fight my heart out, and, you know, I can't sleep at night unless I fight my heart out. So I predict, you know, I haven't gotten knocked out in a long time. I predict Gilbert Melendez going for a kill against Mr. Hiroshida, and I predict a win, another win.
Not a little bias when it comes to Gilbert Melendez. Of course, my radio show, Tag Radio, is one of the sponsors, so that helps out quite a bit as well. But he comes to San Diego, California, is a vicious, mean man when he fights. And one of the nicest guys I've ever met. Like, literally, most fighters don't get along with me. Stylistically, personally, we don't get along. Gilbert and I get along famously. It's amazing how well we get along because he's such a nice guy. But once he gets inside those ropes, it's over. He literally, I don't know what the switch is. I don't know if it's a chemical imbalance. I don't know if they keep him off his ADD medication. I don't know what it is. He literally turns crazy and fights with that viciousness the entire time. Mitsuhiro Ishida. 14-3-1. The eyes of the crowd, the fans love Ishida, tremendously famous, has the exact same style as Melendez, straightforward, constant pressure. You're literally going to see the most high action fight of the night. For me, this is my fight of the night because the action is going to happen. As we take a look at the tail of the tape, no one has defeated Gilbert Melendez. Ishida coming in here. 3 of his victories by way of knockout. Had a 9-fight win streak stopped by, and we'll mention this name again, just a year ago, Gomi defeated him with a TKO. So Ishida has been in against some of the best. Melendez certainly has picked it up and has really had a meteoric rise since debuting in the WEC back in 2002. Much anticipation about this matchup. Just off camera, Kenny, I can see it's because they're in our corner. Kawajiri is actually in Ishida's corner, so he just won tonight and he came out to support his training partner's teammate. Gilbert Melendez, he started off his career, he won his first 5 fights by way of technical knockout. The last 4 victories come by way of decision for the 25-year-old Californian. Round 1 begins. Allison Gilbert has a long range, a long reach, a little bit bigger, a little bit taller. Here's a guy that will take advantage of that reach that he has. Gilbert doesn't mind at all staying on his feet. Great uppercuts, which feed right into Ishida style because Ishida likes to shoot. He goes with a catch with an uppercut as tries to get in. Melendez calling out there with that jab as Ishida tries for the single leg. And Melendez hanging time, but not now. Wow, Ishida's going to power his way into this. Melendez standing up. Ishida showing some good power here early on. Left his right back on the ground. The topside crucifix is the opposite side of the hand as the arm caught. Trying to get this reverse power half on this side. He's got to be a little bit careful here. Ishida's keep pushing that head down. Right now, Melendez no place to put that right arm. Ishida working on the left. Good job changing position. Now Melendez back and free. Tries to cut the rope down. Cut the ring down and hit the rope more than the opponent there, but the crowd loves it. She's got a lot of movement. Moving not to his left. It's moving right into Gilbert's right hand now. Should be moving the other way to get away from that power right. Melendez corner there telling him to double the jab wheel over here. Because he has just been flicking it out there, almost clawing instead of punching. As quick as Ishida, you want to make sure snap his punches so he doesn't get it again. There's Ishida again, grabbing hold and going down. Great takedown game on Ishida. Really much improved from the last time I saw him fight. Ishida only a couple or submission victories. He's had 11 of his wins have come by way of decision. He certainly doesn't mind going the distance and racking up the points. Trying to keep him in the ring. There's probably 6 extra officials inside the outside of the ring to keep everyone inside for safety. And for those of you unfamiliar, those were officials that were not some random fan sitting courtside like at the Lakers game, pushing the ball back in. But Jack Nicholson going to push it back in. She really hasn't thrown any punches as of yet. Melinda's really banging up and controlling the feet. But getting taken down every time. Sheeta now with 3 takedowns here in this first round. Going for the back now, Melinda. In a bear hug, he's hanging on. And Melinda's trying to slam it from this position. She gets the head front. There it is, guys. Great job. He drives him into the canvas. Now Melinda guillotine and choke. He's going for the guillotine. He's got the chin cut underneath. You can see his hand carrying that chin. And then he stuck his body out. He's got the length extended. If he hasn't been tight enough, see his hands coming through there. Crowd appreciates the effort by Ishida to get out of that. Great position change. That's a big slam that echoes throughout this packed arena. Ishida trying to get back in control of this fight. He's had the most takedowns. He's picking up the points here in this first round. Nice side control position. Good job running his hips. Ishida trying to measure Melendez. He's going to work more on those knees a minute ago, Frank. But the other opted not to. These rules are not to be in any time. He's on his feet now. Great position. Oh, this is nice move by Gilly with the body power. He's trying to use his leg a little bit. The punch, good striking down the leg guy. Keep waiting to see if he will try some combination to double up on that jab as his corner was trying to encourage him. Now he's reaching, so he's looking at his punch and he's getting a little bit more nervous about the takedown. Halfway here in this first round.
You're not going to be 19 forever.
Here on Yaranoka, the biggest fight night of the year in Japan and their biggest day of the year, New Year's Day. Just a little over 2 hours away here in Tokyo, and at the Saitama Super Arena, it is a packed house. Fedor's return, and also to see a great undercard that includes Gilbert Melendez, who was just slammed once again to the mat by Mitsuhiro Ishida. Gilbert did a great job after getting slammed, trying to roll in a triangle. Even better job by Ishida to get out of it. As I said earlier, non-stop action. These guys tend to keep going, tend to keep moving. And Ishida, who's been inactive for almost a year, obviously Melendez hasn't, but Ishida comes out here in full strength. Once again, just as he stands up, Ishida gets another takedown. Melendez is back up and goes into the corner. Now, if you're wondering, I'm sure, and I'm speculating. I'm not positive like Gilbert's doing this, but if a guy that keeps taking you down over and over again, you put yourself in the corner, it's harder for him to take you down. There's less positions for him to move you to, as if you're in the center of the ring. Oh, he's got the Kimura. Melendez trying for his submission attempt. Ishida back in control, in the back now, Melendez. Just under 3 minutes in this first 10-minute round. Ishida's had success with these takedowns. It's really all Ishida's done really is use punching to get inside, and then he's become a submission match from his standpoint. Well, Gilbert the whole entire time is trying to create space and start swinging again. Now you're going to start seeing as this fight goes longer, whose style is going to control the other man's style better. That's one of the judges again holding on to the ropes there. And again, Yoshida going for that takedown. A little over 2 minutes to go here in round number 1. Gilbert Melendez with his unbeaten streak on the line. Trying to go 2-0 on New Year's Eve here in Tokyo, like last year. Great wrestling ability by Yoshida, who's stuck in a weird position, going back to the takedown. Yoshida making sure he avoids one of those up kicks. As the back of Melendez, who's going to be warned for grabbing onto that rope. Once again, Yoshida going piggyback there for a moment. Melendez spinning out of it, delivers a couple of knees. Almost was able to unload with the combinations. Yoshida's so quick. The moment the punch is coming, his body is almost faster than his punches, which is unheard of. A minute to go in this first round. That arm card is used to his management. It's a good Kimura position if he wants to unlock it in. He can finish it from here. He's got his head caught in there too. A little awkward. Just about a half a minute to go here in this opening 10-minute round. Melendez and Ishida. And Ishida gets another takedown after taking some slaps from Melendez. And now he's trying for a guillotine at the bell. That is the end of the first round.
Now, for the Japanese fans, it's a huge fight because T-Blood is Ishida and Kawajiri. Melendez beat Kawajiri in a 15-minute decision. And Kawajiri wants to get this fight back. He wants to get it back. And Ishida's big slam by the beginning by Gilbert, right when Ishida got on his back. He couldn't take advantage of it. Ishida did a good job protecting himself and rolling over and coming right back up. Getting back to his feet, getting caught in the guillotine, and then defends this as well. There's a great lift job here on Gilbert, and repays the favor. But Gilbert tries to roll immediately into a triangle lock, and Ishida gets himself out of that. Both these guys, even though getting lifted and slammed, and looking to move, and looking to maneuver. This is a big fight for Ishida because he can revenge the loss that Kawajiri had as business partner and his training partner to Gilbert if he wins this fight.
And Ishida was on that same fight card a year ago. As a matter of fact, this is the 4th time that they've been on the same card. The first time that they have met in the ring, but Ishida and Melendez, they know each other well. They've seen each other fight. They've shown up in the same locker room 3 other occasions over here to see big fights.
And they definitely know each other's style and ability. They've seen each other compete quite a bit together. Plus, there's a lot of tape with each guy. It's this fight is really whose styles is a little bit better today because it's basically mirror images of each other. If you remove the hype factor, Ishida of course is a little bit slower, but you see how quick. As you take a look here at Jay-Z, who was supposed to fight Aoki later tonight, got hurt and is unable to compete because of his injury.
And we get ready for the second round. 5 minutes it's scheduled for, and here they go. We'll see if Melendez is able maybe to pick up his punching a little bit more too. And Yoshida right on it.
Lost that first 10 minutes. You got to get it all up now the last 5 minutes. It's difficult. So quick. Lowe's level so fast.
Ishida is probably as fast as anybody Melendez has faced.
This is the fastest I've seen her because no one else is really this aggressive. And I got to be
with him because she's one of the best guys I've seen. Yeah, he's incredibly quick. At least getting to the shot. Not necessarily on his hands, he's versatile, protecting him. He's got Melendez off balance. His best strike so far. Piggyback here with Melendez, slam him again. It's hard that because Shishida was holding on tight. He needs to get a little more space. He's got to get up and also win this fight. Shishida just needs to keep doing what he's doing. Gilbert Melendez has never lost. He's rapidly been moving up the lightweight ranks. That streak in jeopardy now here in the second round. Moving back out now to the middle of the ring. What about the ground game here of Melendez against the ultra quick Ishii? It's a good position, but she's doing a good job of holding him down. You see the ground pound.